Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. We are here Sunday night, ready to get it in. Had a great week thus far. I felt very successful. Felt like we did everything correct to lead to a great, monumental week. Big shout out to Lyric 10124. I think that's Cam. Big shout out to Cam on our Instagram live stream. Big shout out to Eric Turner on our Facebook live stream. He's been really happy with joining his new team, so congratulations to you. I'll let you break the news to everyone when you think it's right, E. But to everyone, who went throughout this week, we went through the whole month of June. We got through, and we made it to July. And July happens to be my birthday month. So to start this show, I'm going to do something we haven't done in a minute. Big shout out to my brother Tyree. He gave me this beer. We're going to start it off with a little beer here. So to everyone out there tuned in on this Sunday night, let's toast this birthday month here. Cheers up. All right. Big shout out to my boy Jeff, tuned in on our Instagram live stream. But one of the things that I've been super pumped about, and everybody knows that's been closest to me, they know just how excited I have been to watch the WNBA. You're not joking. If you want to clear the cobwebs out of your ears, you're 100% right when you hear that I love the WNBA. I've been watching some of these games, and the women of the WNBA can certainly play. And if you take the time to watch them, you'll see that the basketball is just as good. But I have a great point that I was talking to my boy TK, and he said he was listening to Shaq earlier, and he said part of the reason why people don't necessarily enjoy the WNBA is because they say lack of athleticism, because they don't dunk the ball. Now, TK had said something that Shaq had mentioned about potentially lowering the rims. Now, where I would think this would be very entertaining to watch to watch the women dunk the ball and to see them dunking and scoring probably at a higher rate on these lowered rims. But I think, it kind of would take away a little bit of the integrity, and as far as the skill that it takes for these women to shoot and to still play at a high level on these elevated rims. I think that once you get past the fact of them not being able to dunk or not dunk as often, I think then you can start to enjoy the game and truly see the purity of the basketball game. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I watched the Dallas Wings where you got backdoor cuts that they're hitting. And it's just entertaining basketball to see the ball move around the perimeter. And then some of the ball skills that these women have, it is entertaining. But the most entertaining team to watch in the WNBA that I've seen thus far this season has been the Las Vegas Aces. Everybody was so hyped about this big battle of the Titans between the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty, who have Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Courtney Vandersloot. These women are tough, super tough. But when it comes down to the Las Vegas Aces, they are a team that is deep, very deep with skilled women. Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson, and Candace Parker. These women are blowing teams out. From a betting standpoint, the Aces spread favorite line has been the easiest play by far to pick every single week. Every single game they have on, I've been taking that favorite spread between the Las Vegas Aces because they are just that good. They're deep, they're talented, they play defense, and part of what makes a basketball team successful, whether you're women or men, is the fact of the chemistry that you have. There's a reason why the Miami Heat went so far in the finals, because they had guys that knew how to play together. And these women on the Las Vegas Aces have established such a chemistry that it has allowed them to be one of the most highest scoring offenses in WNBA history. So I'm here to tell you guys, if you are bettors, if you're not scared to put a little bit of money up, this is my surest lock that I can give you. If you put $500 future bet on the Las Vegas Aces to win the championship, you can easily rack up a nice little double up. Because I'm telling you, there's no team that can go out there and beat the Las Vegas Aces 3 games in a row or 3 games out of a series. Because I promise you, the depth that the Las Vegas Aces have, the way that they're scoring at a high rate, and the cohesion, the team cohesion that this Las Vegas Aces team has. I mean, what do they have? 2 or 3 starters and a couple reserves? I mean, when you got half the team that's on the All-Star team, that should tell you just how star-studded these women have in the Las Vegas Aces. So, when I go to Las Vegas, when I go out west, I am going to try and get a Las Vegas Aces jersey. You can bet that. I'm telling you. But part of the reason and how I'm going to have to be able to try and get that jersey is making some sacrifices. And with my trip coming up less than about 2 or 3 weeks from now, I found myself trying to do things to try and save a little bit more money so that I can enjoy myself to the fullest extent when I'm out there in Nevada. And like I said, I've done a lot of Uber Eats, taking a couple extra orders. It's definitely been some long nights for sure, because I found that the most successful tips that you can get through Uber Eats comes from the late night delivery. So if you're willing to stay up a little bit, you can definitely make some good bread. And for me, I definitely can say I've made some considerably good bread to stash away to then enjoy myself in Las Vegas. And also part of that with working some extra Uber Eats hours to get a little extra bread, it's also been making sacrifices as far as decision making. One of them nights we had, we were celebrating Lenny's kid's birthday, and all of us were at Tommy's Tavern, and I seen everybody was going up to the top, and I was like, damn, it looks so popping in there. You see person after person going upstairs to the top lounge. And I just told myself I had to go home because I knew I would rather spend my money on vacation than just to enjoy for that one night there. So, there has been some times where I would stay after league. There would be some times where I would go out with my friends a little bit later in the night. But I found myself going back home a lot earlier, trying to get some rest, putting in those extra hours at the job, so that I can truly enjoy myself. So when it comes down to people saying that they can't do things, or when you hear a lot of times people saying that they wish they had the money to do certain things, you always can try and make that money. There's always possibilities or opportunities for you to make that money. If you stop going to McDonald's maybe once or twice during the week, if you stop getting those extra drinks while you're out at league. If you don't go and have drinks while you're going out, if you're going to have a meal, not getting alcoholic beverages. I think there's definitely ways to try and save and make sacrifice to keep some more money in your pocket. And that's kind of where I'm at right now before this trip. So, even though I might not be maximizing the most fun that I can have, I've been trying to really maximize the most saving that I can do so that I can truly enjoy myself to the max. I want to be shirt off Barry and poolside Barry damn near all vacation, all right? I don't want to have no shirt on, all right? So to do that, I have to save a little bit of bread. So that's the type of sacrifice that we've been making. But along with those sacrifices, we've also been hitting on some good parlays. If you're in the Talk That Talk Show betting Discord, we have been hot, man. I tell you what, yesterday was one of my hottest days that I had in a long time, and I hit on 4 parlays in a row, back to back to back to back. and really took FanDuel and run them up. So that was pretty good. But I think that the key with doing that is that we've kind of utilized this Discord between like me, Ish, my brother, my sister, TK, Glex. A lot of people have been and especially Vic too, has been kind of posting in there. But a lot of people have been posting their information and putting their different plays out there. And really what it's created is a wealth of knowledge for all of us to kind of pick from and choose from and build together with. And one of the greatest feelings was yesterday hitting on one of those bets and having my boy TK say, "Yo, we hit too, man. I tailed your bet." And then I look at my account, I get a $20 tip because he hit on my bet and he tipped me out. I heard from my boy Ish, saying that he tailed my bet, and seeing my boy who's kind of getting out there and getting his feet wet to be able to win and get some money to that bankroll. I was happy to see that with him, but the main thing is, if you have people that you like and you're starting to see certain things, definitely don't be afraid of tailing certain people. At the same time, don't be afraid to try different lines. I really would have never in a million years thought that I would love playing the WNBA lines. But right now, that's what my hottest line has been right now. That's what I've been consistently hitting. And it just feels good when you have and you've put the research in, when you put the confidence in, and you're seeing the returns back from it. And most importantly is making sure that you're betting responsibly. One of my boy Carl, big shout out to Carl, he's somebody that I always thought was crazy because when it came down to the boxing, there was a boxing match before where I think he put like $2 or $3 grand up because he was that confident that person was going to win. And sure enough that they did win. But, my point is, he wouldn't have bet anything that he wasn't willing to lose. And that's what I always want to remind people when I talk about betting, no matter how many times I talk about it, because too many times you see people putting themselves in bad positions. And when you bet responsibly, it can make sports a lot more fun and a lot more profitable. But the key word is to be responsible. All right. And, for me, it's setting a limit for myself. For other people, it may be setting certain days where you bet and certain days that you don't. But I've really just tried to set aside some time to watch these games, watch certain trends, and just really be confident in the things that I'm putting in. And one of the biggest things that I've really had success with is that a lot of times we fall in love with the parlays. And we add the legs up because we think all these things are locks. And you start looking at the bottom, looking at that total backs. But really, you never want to chase bets. You never want to chase that bottom ticker, that money on the bottom. You always really just want to break down the numbers and think about what is it that you're super confident about and what is it that you could really think could happen. All the times when I talk about my boy Glex, and he shows me about these plus lines, I'm like, do you really think that could happen, or are you chasing the chicken? You know what I'm saying? So I just think that also being responsible, knowing your research, doing your research, seeing what there's value in. That's the key word. K-Sam here says value. You don't want to be putting your money up for certain things that aren't going to give you too much in return for. So, these are all things that you learn as you're getting your feet wet. But I think that we've got a great handle on things in the Discord. We've really been utilizing our resources well. I think Reese and Ish tailed on my last leg of my parlay. So if we hit, guys, if the Guardians win by more than 1.5 runs, we'll be taking home a little bit of bread. All right, guys? So, again, trust the process. All right? If you're in the Talk That Talk Show Discord, take a look at some of the channels we got. We got some great people in there posting some great picks. And if you want to invite to the Talk That Talk Show betting Discord, you can send me a direct message, and I'll send you a link, and we'll get you on in there, right? But I also think that something that we have to talk about, and something that's been the main topic of discussion for every NBA fan that I've heard and talked about, is Damian Lillard finally requesting to leave Portland. And to that, we got to give a drink to my boy Dame, because Nobody ever thought that man was going to be leaving Portland. And I'll say this. Damian Lillard arguably had one of the best playoff moments in Portland Trailblazer history when he sent the Thunder home with that three-point shot to end the game on Game 7 of the series. Ain't nothing better than hitting a game-winning shot on somebody and waving bye-bye. And literally saying goodbye and forcing an entire franchise into a fucking rebuild. That was a historic and monumental game-winning shot by Damian Lillard. And sadly enough, we probably will not see him in a Blazers uniform again. But really, this comes down to the lack of urgency from a franchise to build around their star player. Once upon a time, can I tell you that the Blazers were playing against the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals? Once upon a time. That wasn't so long ago. And really what we've seen since that time from the Portland Trail Blazers has been futility, and inefficiency, and unable to get over the main hump that it took for them to go to to a finals, to get past those Western Conference Finals. There's just been a lot of disappointment in Portland. And unfortunately, Damian wants out, but we have to look forward. I think that we can definitely take Dame's career in Portland and say arguably he might be one of the best players in franchise history. But now we got to look forward and say, where is Damian Lillard going to go? And, most people would say that it would be Miami. But when you think about it, I think about the Clippers having, some really good assets. I think that the Lakers definitely may have a dark shot. Not a huge shot, but Dame is from LA. He's from Oakland. He's from that California area. So I know he would like to be out west. But I think it'd be a change of scenery. It could be good. You see a lot of people have success when they come to Miami. And why could this be no different for a guy like Damian Lillard? And I think to be in a franchise that invests in their team and invest in making sure that there's a competitive product out there every single year, I think it's the perfect place for Damian Lillard. And you might see some people like a Tyler Hero go. We've seen he removed Miami Heat in his bio. And it's just so crazy to think that, we're reporting things about players based off of their social media now. We've come a long way in sports, so now we're at that point. And, we just got to see what happens because this NBA free agency has been pretty wild. We've seen a lot of people stay where they've, kind of bluffed their way into higher contracts. But, I'd like to see, where Damian Lillard ends up here. It just sucks that it won't be in a Blazer uniform. And then you have to think about it and think, who will be the next person to stay with just one team their whole career? Because a lot of people thought it was going to be Damian Lillard. He would be that last person to kind of stay with one franchise like a Dirk Nowitzki did. Now, if you ask me, the only two people that look like they could stay with their franchise for their entire careers could maybe potentially be a Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can see him in Milwaukee with his entire career. Or maybe a Jason Tatum. I can see him playing in Boston for his entire career. So, who knows? But now that Damian Lillard is leaving Portland, it's now time to see who's going to be that next franchise player who's going to stay with their franchise for the entire duration of their career. But, I think that moving on past Damian Lillard potentially leaving Portland, I got to mention again, this is my birthday month. And I'm just super excited to be able to go to Reno. I'm super excited to, have this little boat cruise that we're going to have on my birthday in the river, in the New York River, Manhattan River. Hopefully get to see the Statue of Liberty as well, too. I'm really excited for that. I'm excited to spend some time, spend some of the summer with my family. I've really enjoyed just the way that the summer's kind of played out so far. But it's just truly been a great summer thus far. There's a lot of things on the horizon, but with me, being 33 at July 18th, that time is coming fast, and then pretty soon we'll be in nationals as well too. So I think that, to touch on the points that I've continued to drive, is that part of the things that make me excited is having things to look forward to, and we've done a great job of just putting things on the schedule to make sure that everything is in place to have some fun and just to have things to look forward to. And K-Sam says it's much deserved. And I think that, we can't stress it enough, the importance of doing things for yourself and going out and enjoying yourself, because, I think that one of the lowest points in my life was when I was just stuck in that cycle of working, getting up, sleeping, just to get up, go to work, go home, sleep. And it's just not a fun cycle. But, when you kind of incorporate with work the things to do and to enjoy yourself with, and it just adds those years to your life and keeps that youth within you. So I've just been trying to stay active. This is a great month for us because there's a lot of things on the agenda and a lot of things lined up for the birthday month. So I'm just super pumped about that. And one of the things that I'm actually really excited to share with you guys is how I'm always talking about the selflessness and how you never know when people are thinking about you. And I talked to my boy Nate. Big shout out to Nate. And he's out there in Buffalo. And he came up to me, and asked for a Kenny Lou hat. And I said, sure, no problem. So I reached out to my boy Kenny Lou. Was able to get him some heat. And little did I know that he said, yo, Barry, thank you so much for doing this for me. You're super dope. I got something for you in return. Shout out to my boy Nate. I don't know what is in this box, but we gonna see. From Buffalo, my boy. Oh yeah, he came different. Oh yeah. Guys, we got the My Fitteds War Report Mets. Oh shit. Yo, big shout out to my boy Nate for this one, man. You're not going to see too many people with this Mets hat, man. You got the targeted Mets logo in the front, camo brim with the brown undervisor here, flat batterman in the back. My Fizz, Kenny Lou, Russet Sunset. You guys have outdone yourself with this one. Chunky side patch here with the gold metallic. This is going to be one of those Mets hats that I got to throw on. This is an instant sellout. Yo, I appreciate you so much for this one, Nate. I think in this box he also put in, let's see, we got his pin from the Buffalo Mafia here. Big shout out to him. He got his Buffalo Mafia pin. Yo, big shout out to my boy here. That's what it's all about. Got me the Mets hat. It's always good to have, good friends in a lot of different places. And like I said, I was just happy to have my good deed returned well. So thank you so much, Nate. And before we also end this the show, I don't want to take it down to a somber mood, but I think that one of the things that I'm really upset about and that sucks so much is that, as we get older, you start to see the people that you grew up with, or you start to see some of the people that you went to school with, that as you get older, and then you start to see some of your friends pass away and pass on. And, it sucks because, since I've graduated, I've seen so many people pass on in a variety of different ways. We've seen how much, the drug epidemic has affected my town and how many friends I've lost to overdoses. Drugs suck, period. And the amount of heroin and things that people have done that has resulted in death, it just sucks. And I just wish that there was something or some type of program that we had around here to just help and stop the amount of deaths that have been happening. But another thing besides, the heroin and something that has affected our generation, or I guess you could say the group that I've had, has been, suicide. And it's not been something that we like to talk about often, but it's something that has affected too many people in my, I guess you say the people in my town or the people around us. And, you hate to see afterwards, the after effects of what happens when people do take their lives. And, it can happen to literally anyone. And this guy, who I'm going to bring up now, was always someone that when I went to Tasty Subs, he was always such a funny dude and always giving me smiles. And even growing up when we were kids, he was a good dude, man. And he really just enjoyed working out. I would always see him at LA Fitness. And he was just a good dude, man. And when I heard the news that he had passed away, and I'm talking about Greg Vanderhoof, it was just tough news, man, because it's never easy to hear that people pass on. But someone like him who had such a great spirit, and someone who had just an amazing smile, and someone that was just a great person to be around. Someone that you would never complain about being around. That's the type of person that Greg Vanderhoof was. And I remember me and Jeff going to his party, I think a birthday party at his house when he was living over back in Bottomtown. But, to hear that he passed away at such an early age and under unfortunate circumstances, it really hurt. And it wasn't like I saw him every day. It wasn't like, he was one of my super duper closest friends. But it was just, I guess you could say, that feeling that he gave me whenever I would see him, and just like that genuine smile. I was like, oh, that's Greg. What's up, Greg? And to know that someone like that, could be brought to such a point that they just don't want to be here anymore, that was just tough for me, because I'm just thinking, like, obviously there was nothing that I'd be able to do to help him. But, it just sucks that, sometimes people don't feel like they have anyone to reach out to, and they feel like there is no other option. And I just wish that someone would have just gotten to Greg and just told him, like, yo, let's go out, or let's do something. Let's, there's no way to switch things up. But what I can say to everyone out here that does watch this show, to anyone that does have friends, please check on your friends. See how they're doing. Send them a call, send them a text. If you haven't seen someone in a while, maybe take that time to go out, because you never know what's going on in their lives. And I never would have thought that my boy Greg would be hurting that bad to where he would want to not be here anymore. And I think that's the toughest thing, is that some people can be driven to that point. And that's why it's important for us as friends to try and at least extend ourselves out to those people, because you never know what someone can be going through. So if you have any friends out there, if you have someone that you haven't talked to in a while, someone that you really care about, that you just haven't really talked to, reach out to them. Say what's up. Send them a text, send them a call, because literally tomorrow is not promised, man. Every day that you wake up, my Aunt Reese always, she says, it's a blessing to wake up and open our eyes. So I think that for a lot of people, we can sometimes lose sight of that, So for us, people that continue to watch this show, closest to me, just be happy to open your eyes another day and to breathe, because some people don't get afforded that right. It's a privilege to wake up. And in the same realm, if you have people that do wake up too, that care and matter to you, just reach out to them. Say what's up. See what's going on, because, the worst feeling is knowing that after the fact that you can't reach out to that person, or you can't figure out if they're okay because they're not here anymore. So, on that note, this is the Talk That Talk show. We're going to leave the mic here for about a minute. Moment of silence for my boy Greg. Rest in peace to you, brother. This is the Talk That Talk show. Love you all. See you next week.